St. Elsewhere, weekdays at 4 on TV 8.
Welcome back to Local Election 88. I'm Virginia Butler.
And I'm Jim Parsons. There are a lot of races in our area that have been decided. One that has not, a very important one in the 132nd Assembly District. Democrat Joe Morelli leading incumbent Republican Penny Cook by just about 20 votes, by 18 votes at this point. 400 and some odd votes have gone to the Right to Life candidate in that race. That may prove to be the difference, and we may see this race decided by the absentee ballots. Again, not all of the districts reporting in that race. Will keep our eye on it as the night progresses.
Okay, and another important race in the district was the Louise Slaughter, John Bouchard, and Tom Cook race. Louise Slaughter has quite a lead, and Brad Couples right now is with John Bouchard. Brad?
Yes, Virginia, as you just said, John Bouchard has issued a concession speech in favor of Louise Slaughter, and John is with me right now. John, your feelings on the way this race was handled?
Well, I'm very proud of our campaign. We started with a distinct disadvantage. Mrs. Slaughter raised and spent over $500,000 more than we did in this campaign. She had the built-in advantages of incumbency, which she used very effectively. Free mailing privileges, full-time staff. I'm very, very proud of the effort we made in this campaign and how far we came this year.
Your overall assessment of how the Republicans did on the local level here?
Well, it's difficult to say. I don't know. I understand the Cook-Morelli race is very close, as well as the Esposito-Quattrocchi. I don't know how President Bush, and I think I can say that safely now, did in the county. But I think we've had a good Republican effort, and it's been start of the revitalization of our party locally. And I'd like to think my campaign had a lot to do with that.
All right. Now, in your concession speech, well, why don't you recap it just a little bit for us? What did you say about Louise's campaign?
Obviously, I congratulate her on running what I call a good incumbents campaign. Played it safe, didn't debate, kind of a rose garden strategy. She had more money and spent all of the money that she had in the campaign. She had the full-time staff that she used effectively in the phone banks, and frankly, a volunteer force that she's had for the past 2 years. She used those effectively, and for that reason, I have to congratulate her.
Thank you very much. John Bouchard, who has issued a concession speech in favor of Louise Slaughter. We are standing by now for Assemblyman Bob King. He should be with us very shortly.
All right, Brad. In the meantime, let's go to the newsroom and get some analysis on the Bouchard-Slaughter congressional race in the 30th District from our analysts, Vince Bizard and Bob Feldman.
Well, it was always a tough race. About 90% of the incumbents always win in a congressional race, and John Bouchard, I think, knew that. He had the full backing of the White House and the Republican National Committee because Louise Slaughter was thought to be vulnerable if at any time this year. But Louise Slaughter is a very good politician, and she knows how to work, as John says, the office. She did a good job. Fred Eckert really had to go out of his way to lose that 2 years ago, and Louise Slaughter is much smarter than that in terms of getting along with people.
Bob?
Louise is not only a good politician, she's a good congressperson, and I think that showed off in the result. I think that the power of the incumbency is important, but it's only important if you've got a good congressman, and Louise is. And I think now Tom Cook is going to be the candidate in 2 years, he says. So we'll see how Louise does against...
All right,
All right, Bob, Vince, thanks. We'll be right back to you. Now we go back to some of the numbers. The presidential race in Monroe County. At this point, George Bush is ahead by just about 2,000 votes over Michael Dukakis.
And take a look at some of the other races in Monroe County. The numbers coming in: Moynihan, the incumbent Democrat, well ahead of Bob McMillan in the U.S. Senate race.
In the state Supreme Court justice race, unopposed.
All of those candidates were unopposed in the congressional 29th District. Incumbent Frank Horton expected to win easily, and he is apparently doing that over Jim Vogel, the Democrat.
In the 30th District, of course, we've just talked about that. Louise Slaughter has pretty much taken the district in her first congressional re-election bid.
32nd Congressional District, John LaFalce winning easily over Emil Everett.
In the 53rd Senate District, Paul Keogh unopposed.
54th Senate District, Jack Perry winning easily over Irwin Gill Gilbert by a 3-1 margin.
In the 55th Senate District, the Battle of the Ralphs is continuing. Ralph Quattrocchi is still ahead, 47,000 votes over 42,000 for Ralph Esposito.
This is with about 80% of the districts in now. 130th Assembly District, Bob King, incumbent Republican, winning over Irene Gossin, the Democratic county legislator.
In the 131st District, Gary Proud is well ahead of his opponents, Republican Jeremy Brickner and conservative Lawrence Steeler.
And in the 132nd Assembly District, this one is still a horse race with Democrat Joe Morelli, the challenger, leading incumbent Penny Cook by about 18 votes there.
Okay, and we'll be back with much more after this break.
The moral crusader demanded to view this adult movie, and the accused college professor finally agreed to let him see it. It's that triple X-rated campus scorcher that students had to watch as part of the most controversial university course in America. Now the Crusaders review, and your chance to vote on whether this stuff belongs in a college classroom.
That's Wednesday at 7, only on TV8.
On the next MASH.
It happened on the next Geraldo.
Welcome back. We have some new numbers coming in, and we're going to give them to you right now.
Most of these numbers are final or close to final, but unofficial. They won't be official until sometime tomorrow. In the presidential race here in Monroe County, George Bush leading Michael Dukakis by about 2,000 votes. Dukakis had been ahead most of the night, and then Bush pulled ahead.
It's still a very close race in Monroe County, which is interesting. In the U.S. Senate race, Daniel Patrick Moynihan, a resounding win over Bob McMillan.
Statewide as well as in Monroe County. In State Supreme Court, all of the candidates were cross-endorsed. No competition.
In the congressional 29th District, Frank Horton is re-elected.
30th Congressional District, Louise Slaughter re-elected over Republican John Bouchard and conservative Tom Cook.
In the 32nd Congressional District, John LaFalce has, at this point, won over Emil Everett, a former stockbroker.
In the 53rd Senate District, obviously Paul Kehoe was unopposed.
In the 54th Senate District, John Perry has won over Erwin Gilbert, and again, these are all unofficial numbers.
55th Senate District, you heard the speeches from Ralph Quachachaki and Ralph Esposito. Esposito bitterly disappointed over his loss to the incumbent, Quachachaki.
And also not willing to forgive and forget, as in some of these other races. On the 130th Assembly District, Bob King over Irene Gossin. Another bitter race.
131st Assembly District, Gary Proud, an easy victory over Chilai's Jerry Brickner and the conservative Steeler.
In the 132nd Assembly District, Joe Morelli and Penny Cook still very close, but these appear to be the final, or the unofficially final numbers. Penny Cook ahead of Joe Morelli.
Recount likely in that case, as well as absentee.
Also some affidavit and absentee ballot votes to be counted yet.
133rd Assembly District, David Gantz, as usual, an easy winner, as Gant usually proves to be.
In the 134th Assembly District, Roger Robot unopposed, Jim Nagel is unopposed, and Steve Hawley unopposed.
Family Court Judge Bonadillo, 194,000, obviously an easy winner over well, two of the three are selected there, and Joan Cahote is also Family Court Judge, re-elected to that bench.
The Chi-Line Town Council race, Jane Callahan, a winner over Donald Fasco.
In East Rochester Village Justice, Morabito, the Republican, just edging out the challenger Farron there.
In Henrietta Town Council, William Mulligan over William Wu by about 2,000 votes.
Irondequoit Town Council, Republican Peter Pecor over challenger Democrat Jones.
Pittsford Town Justice unopposed.
More unopposed races here.
Rush Town Justice, we've got James Princehorn and Thomas Cherabassi. Cherabassi is the winner.
Okay, we'll be back with more in just a moment.
It's that triple X-rated campus scorcher that students had to watch as part of the most controversial course in America. Now, your chance to vote on whether this stuff belongs in a college classroom.
That's Wednesday at 7, only on TV8.
Pizza Hut, making it great. Now you can get a single-size pizza that's as individual as you are. Introducing Pizza for One.
Making it right, making it new. Pizza for one, perfect for you. Eating alone or wanting your own. Daytime, nighttime, snack time, anytime.
Pizza for One. Made the way you like it. Grab one anytime for just $2.99.
Pizza Hut, making it great.
I'm Andy again at Gabrielli Ford. And listen, folks, if you want to pay more for a used car, that's your business. If you want to pay less, that's our business. Here's two great examples. A 1988 pre-enjoyed Festiva for the low price of $49.55 plus tax, or $20 down, $117 a month. On my left, a 1985 Dodge Daytona for $20 down and $83 a month. So, folks, what do? You either pick up the phone and call us, or better yet, drive on out and see for yourself.
On the next MASH, what starts as a typical day...
Pigpen, brothel, yes sir, yo!
...turns into a nightmare. Hawkeye uncovers a bungled operation that could prove hazardous to his health.
Who are you calling? I'm going right over your fly to General Clayton.
But when the going gets tough...
You don't want to give the red, white, and blue a black eye, do you?
The tough go crazy. Go with them on the next MASH.
Don't miss MASH, Wednesday at 7:30 on TV 8.
We'll be back in about 10 minutes, but first we join the network again.